offer workshops all over the world. I travel internationally regularly. We just came back from a 2-week tour in Peru, for instance. And I'm very fascinated by the different peoples and cultures of the world, the way that people around the world express themselves culturally. And it's a beautiful experience to be able to enjoy that meeting of cultures, but also the deep wisdom that different cultures, such as the Peruvian cultures, bring forward, but really the cultures everywhere I go. In just the last year, Brazil, Peru, Egypt, throughout Europe, as well as the United States and Canada, I've had the opportunity to meet extraordinary human beings doing their own work, doing their own practices, and offer these practices as well in different parts of the world. And the work that we offer really is threefold in nature. I use sound as a medium to meet and transform consciousness. And one field of my work is in sound therapy and teaching how to use sound therapeutically, both for one's own wellness, but also to engage professionally in a practice with others. So how to be a sound healer, how to use sound therapeutically in professional practice, but also for private use. And I have a 3-year school of training in which I offer that, though I teach segments of that training in different parts of the world occasionally also. The second aspect of my work is exploring the very nature of consciousness, who we are and why we're here, which are fundamental questions to the human psyche. Who are we? Who am I? And why am I here? This is fundamental to our evolution as human beings, as spiritual beings.
So for me, what this work is, I come because it's the most powerful spiritual work I've found yet in my life. It's the most direct connection to my own experience, my own genuine, authentic experience of the higher realms, of my guides, of the light beings that I know have been with me for a while now.
Cultures the world over explore this through different aspects, through different avenues of consciousness practices, of meditation techniques and so forth. And I utilize these techniques with the wisdom that comes from those cultural understandings of who we are and why we're here, and how we might develop into our fullness, to blossom into our beauty, into our true nature, to become who we truly are, which is divine beings of great luminosity at one with all life. That is our true nature. Most of us have lost contact with that reality, and most of us seek that through all of our actions, through all of our lives. And to bring it into luminous consciousness, these fundamental questions of who am I and why I'm here, to explore these and come into deeper wisdom and understanding, bring us into a place of fulfillment and into service of the oneness of all life, to the heart of creation. The other work that I offer is in earth energy practices, in which we literally go into the earth herself, into the living aspects of nature, recognizing that everything is alive, as all indigenous cultures recognize and honor through their practices, through their wisdom and understanding. Recognizing that everything is alive, and learning to come into living relationships with different aspects of the earth, whether it's the living stones, the living trees, the living animals, the living waters, and the spiritual beings that reside there, from the elemental beings to the ancestral and other holy beings of those worlds. We go out and we touch into nature and learn to explore and commune with the living aspects of the earth itself, of the living cosmos, and the wisdom which is embedded in ancient temple sites. When we go to Peru or Egypt or the United Kingdom, we often go to the ancient sites that hold the wisdom of profoundly wise cultures that lived there and had methods of containing that wisdom within the stones themselves. They're like living libraries. And we learn to commune with the energies and the wisdom keepers of those places, and are gifted with incredible blessings from engaging in practices like that. this is vastly multidimensional. This is a representation of the multidimensional nature of reality. And this central, these are normally composed of stones that outline all of these little circles with the numbers and what they represent. That number one stone is Creator Earth Self. It is the central axis of all life, from heavens to earth and back again. And all life unfolds around it. So it would be more appropriate to think of this as a sphere than a circle. But even a sphere is limiting our perception of the nature of reality as this represents it. This contains all life at all levels and dimensions of consciousness. And it's represented by these totems and so forth. You know, and the animal totems might be buffalo or moose to the north, and hawk or eagle to the east, and coyote or mouse to the south, and wolf or whale or bear to the west, which represents these qualities of consciousness associated with the elements.
I dreamed that I was thanking you for this beautiful experience and for your beholding of the sacred feminine. Because I've been in other places before where the sacred feminine has not been embraced or understood or held, and it allows me to release and embrace everything that's happening here. So I wanted to thank you, and I hope that the other women in this room also are experiencing that on an emotional, physical, and spiritual level.
Women seem to have got that.
Thank you.
Though it feels like most of the men also are reflecting that.
I've received guidance from my own inner realms and my own guides. And I go back out in the world feeling more aligned with who I really am and with what I'm really on the earth to do. And I want to say that Zacciah weaves so many different things together before we do the actual works. Real science, metaphysics, ancient spiritual knowledge, current wisdom from indigenous elders, wisdom that's coming through his guides. It's coming from so many different places, and he weaves it together in a way that makes so much sense to me. And it sets me up perfectly for doing the journeys, for doing the practices, so that I know what to do when I'm in the journeys, and it makes it real to me. It's not like like other spiritual practices that I've done, where it's real. I just had all those experiences that we were practicing. It really happened to me. In this practice, this past weekend, I felt we did an indigo blue light in our heart to expand our heart space. And I've never felt my heart expand that way. And I was able to expand it so big that it had the whole world in it. And that's my favorite. That's what I want to do. And I brought my brother and people from my community, and this is the way I want to live through this kind of experience of myself and of all of us here on this planet.